find out what Business Unity South Africa thinks about the looming national shutdown. We're joined now by BUSA CEO Cas Coovadia. Thank you so much for your time, Cas. We do appreciate it. What is your take as Business Unity South Africa on the national shutdown tomorrow?
Thanks for having me, Hadi, and hi to your viewers. Look, we issued a statement saying that we are in total disagreement with the call for a stay away. We recognize and we identify with the issues raised by the EFF, issues of low energy issues and unemployment and so on. But we've been consistent in our approach that the way to deal with the ills in our country is to attract investment and enable our country's economy to grow in an inclusive fashion. We still maintain that. We don't believe a call for a stay away when we've just had a 1.3% drop in our GDP in the last quarter is the way to go. It doesn't achieve anything. It in fact puts us back significantly because it again sends out a message to investors that we are a problematic place to invest in. And then the utterances of the EFF, intermediary utterances that say that, there will be issues if people don't actually follow their call and so on, is totally unacceptable. And so we believe it's counterintuitive. It does not help us deal with the problems and issues that they raise. And we have called upon law enforcement agencies to be absolutely clear and thorough in their approach. Both in the Western Cape and Gauteng, the high courts have ruled that they have issued interdicts, stopping the EFF from instilling any violence or any intimidation. And the police must make sure that if any such stuff does happen, they immediately arrest people and charge them because they'd be violating that interdict. So, these aren't good issues. Calls like these are not good for the economy, are not good for the socio-economy because it doesn't help us address the social and other problems we have. And we have come out against it.
I mean, the question also is to what end? You're going to march, you're going to shut down, or whatever the plan is for tomorrow, because I don't even think we know as South Africans what tomorrow is going to look like. This obviously does not have a good reputational image for the country, especially because of what we saw unfold in July 2021, where it started off very small and it lasted for 3 weeks. We had over 300 people losing their lives. Businesses were completely decimated. And Cas, maybe speak to us about how, the international world is also looking at us going, but, to what end? There's so much volatility, there's so much uncertainty.
No, exactly. And that's the issue about investor confidence. I mean, we need to wake up as a country and appreciate that we are competing for investment. We're not the chosen destination any longer. Lots of funds and investment is, for instance, going to East Africa because countries like Kenya are saying, we need your investment. We believe that we need to use that investment to grow our economy because that's the way we address the problems we have in our country. We are not sending out that message. Instead, what we are doing is we are tolerating these sorts of actions and not speaking out firmly and clearly as government against these types of actions. So it reduces confidence in the country. At a time when, and as I said, we had a 1.3% drop in our GDP, we've been grey listed. We've been downgraded again recently. So, these are all serious issues for our country. And then on top of that, to call for a stay away, which depending on how many businesses open tomorrow or not, and it's not going to be as a result of any positive mass response to this call. It will be because people will want to protect, businesses will want to protect their employees and say, look, if we don't need them, they shouldn't be traveling. If we don't need to deliver goods tomorrow and can delay it to Tuesday, we should do that, or Wednesday, we should do that. So it does just the intimidation and the uncertainty leads to a decrease in business activity that can cost billions of rand in GDP. And that's just, we cannot send out that sort of message. We cannot tolerate this sort of stuff. And if the EFF is serious about dealing with unemployment, serious about addressing the energy crisis, then work with those of us who are trying to make positive, get into positive frames of mind to put into place mechanisms to actually address these problems and not actually to make calls and to make utterances that actually take us back from addressing these problems.
So one of the calls by the EFF, part of tomorrow's shutdown, is for the resignation of President Cyril Ramaphosa. And we saw today Parliament confirming that 166 million rand is going to be used to deploy over 3,000 SANDF, basically army, to assist law enforcement for the next month or so. Do you think that this is a positive response and the right response from the president, looking at this, knowing what happened in July 2021, speaking to international investors and to the business community? Do you think that that was the right response of the president?
I think in the first instance, the South African Police Service that's responsible for maintaining law and order must be in the front line. And all indications are that they appear to be better prepared than they were in July 2021. I think for the SANDF to be on standby at the request of the police services is good. I think it sends out a message that we are serious about containing these sorts of situations, and we are serious about dealing with any violence or intimidation that may arise from the call tomorrow. But I think the SANDF must be on standby. The call must be made by the South African Police Services, whether they call the SANDF intercepts. But I think to demonstrate that we are mobilizing all of our forces to actually deal with any intimidation and violence is a good one.
Okay, thank you so much for your insights this evening. That was Cas Coovadia, the CEO of Business Unity South Africa.